Hello, I'm Hannah Sanvito, and we're getting so close to the Douglas College Women's National Championships. Throughout each video, be sure to keep an eye out for a hidden letter for a chance to win a prize. More details at the end of the video. Today, we're lucky to have Mari Klassen, who is the captain of the Canadian National Deaf Volleyball Women's Team. Mari has been playing on Team Canada for 12 years and has competed in 2 Olympics. Mari has a master's in Sign Language Education and is currently a Sign Language Instructor at Vancouver Community College. I think you'll enjoy her thoughts.
Wow, it's been just a wonderful experience for me. Going to the Deaf Olympics, not just being involved in the Deaf Olympics, but being at a Deaf international event, the World Championships or the Pan Am Games, really just any of those huge events just really gives me the opportunity to, feel like everything is just completely natural and normal. As far as competitions, there's no barriers there. I don't feel that I'm different from anyone else. We've got everyone with a similar background, regardless of what country or language they use. We're sort of able to work and compete against each other, and that experience has been such a huge experience. And representing Canada and representing women as well, and deaf people, I think it's just been such an amazing experience for me. The Deaf Olympics is quite unique because, every team is comprised of deaf individuals, and every time you're competing against someone, it's deaf people as well. So it's just such a fantastic opportunity to be a part of. Very cool. I think nothing can stop anyone, just absolutely nothing. Nothing can stop anyone from being successful. It takes work, it takes passion, it takes motivation and determination. And if you have those things, you'll be successful. So again, you can't expect overnight success in sports. You have to practice and you have to keep going, and you'll be successful in those things regardless of, any barriers. Those doors, can be opened. You just have to find a way and get through there, and you'll find your success. And that's something I learned, especially as a deaf person, facing a lot of barriers, again, not having interpreters and having that wonderful support from my parents who really, knew that this was a huge important thing for me. And, being accepted into Gallaudet University, I had a deaf coach finally, and was able to really have access to clear communication. And, it just takes time. Sometimes it takes time, but at the end you'll have the success that you were looking for. As far as advantages to being a deaf person, oh, absolutely. I think people really don't realize that there are certainly a lot of advantages to being deaf, really on any team. One of the biggest parts is fans. Some of the fans are just completely wild, and I don't hear them. So I really just focus on the game. That's a huge advantage for me, not to be distracted by that. And then, sometimes you can sort of sign secretly, like in code, and other teams won't understand what you're saying. So, for example, internationally, in some of those competitions, we'll be competing with someone who can sign and knows our same language. And so, all of a sudden we're like, oh, I sort of have to hide what we're saying, as opposed to on a hearing team. So like at Gallaudet University, everyone was deaf, but we would go against hearing teams. And so we would be able to sign, and they would have no idea what we were talking about. So they wouldn't be in on our secrets, and they wouldn't be able to hear what was going on. So now on Team Canada, if we're playing against another team, sometimes they'll know ASL, or, they'll be able to sign. And so now all of a sudden we're like, oh man, they can understand us. So we have to figure out sort of how to manage that. Now we're the same as sort of 2 hearing teams. So it's a really interesting thing to come across. I guess, I think maybe more scholarships would be a huge help. Having more opportunities, specifically for women. So, in school, just being more encouraged to be involved in those things, even having the right sort of uniform and clothes, and being able to have everything equal to what, the boys' programs and for sports in women's, usually boys are funded a lot more. So just having the same access to all of that, women having to put more money out to be involved in sports. So, I think if those things were equal, women would feel that they were much more included and they were able to really access sports and feel like they're a part of it. Again, it helped me with university. I didn't have to have as much money for tuition and certain things, and that was a huge stress, and it could be for a lot of people like myself who go to university. So I was so lucky to have some scholarships. Some weren't necessarily related to sports, but there's certainly that stress to work and budget and try and have enough money for everything. It's really mentally exhausting to have to worry about all those different things. So I think societally, if it was more equal, people would be more inclined to be involved.
Thank you, Mari, for all you do in the community. To support more women in leadership and sport, come join us at the first Royals game at the Percy Perry Stadium in Coquitlam on November 7th at 5 p.m. Today, we gave you the 5th letter of the puzzle. Remember to bring your solved answer to the main entry gate at the Royals' first game for a chance to win a prize at halftime.